Good evening. I neglected to do the admin bits. Just have to skim through and do those because I just sort of stared at my own timer, thinking I should probably be doing something, and then realising I wasn't doing anything. Anyway, let's get into the game, shall we? It is in fact time to play the game. Minute. And that is a barely recognisable version of the song The Game by Motorhead. It's like if it was run through several dozen filters and then dragged through a bush. At that point it would have sounded exactly like The Game by Motorhead. So we've got a wild and wacky new adventure to go on. What sort of island will it be? Ooh, I do not know. I do know. Well, I think I know. Depends if I actually do know, or I find out that I don't know because it's not the order I'm remembering it in, which could be interesting. But we shall see. Yes, we shall. Right, so we were on the Isle of Awakening, and we'll have a look through the old images once again, as is our usual habit. Ooh, let's go on holiday, a little holiday. Let's go on holiday. Oh yeah! Just now, because I recognise this one, I'm just seeing if there's any like secrets, like something where you're obviously supposed to see it, but not necessarily the first look. But I can't see anything obvious. But then again, it wouldn't be obvious if it was some kind of secret Easter egg. Oh, Canada! Such a good creation, that one, because they've got it sort of waving in the wind. It's very clever. And I mean, even without the title "Oh Canada," you could easily recognise that as the Canadian flag. Making it all the more impressive. The sparkles across it, I genuinely don't know how you do those sparkles. I should probably try and find out at some point, but I don't know how at the moment, so not sure precisely how they'd have accomplished that one. The one assumes Flamingo Hotel, but to make text, I mean, I suppose arguably it's the same as pixel text, but it is still impressive to make text out of cubes. I can spot a little living statue off in the distance there. A sort of peculiar kind of angel statue. I'm going to assume it's meant to be an angel statue. But it is quite a fascinating little thing with the little JCB digger as well. Just sat next to it. It's quite nice. And then the villa. Is it in Aston? I don't know. Is it Aston's villa? It might be. The Tilda. It's my Tilda castle. It's a Castle Matilda, and that's just castle. No, I'm not going to bat with this fella. I'm not going to bat with Ogus. He's just a castle. I built a castle. I named it Castle. Right, let's do our little 5 count, which is never a 5 count, but you know, fuck it. It's a good system. That is a big fish. That's a very big fish. In fairness, both of them are big, but I'm more talking about that big blue fish. Because it's big. It's a big bluefish. There's sort of like bloke off in the background with what might be Dougie or Digby, one of the two, and someone else, but I can't quite tell because they're quite far away on the right hand side there. And then you've got the sort of protagonist, I think, lazing on the sort of loungers next to the. I mean, it's not quite beachy area, is it? It's more sort of, I suppose, tropical sunset. There you go. But I think maybe where the protagonist is, I think it might have been worthwhile patching out a bit of beach on that one. Because you can see the sand underneath, but I think on top would have been beachy as well. A little bit of Christmas. But it's not meant to be doing "what's up," but the sort of Yeti creature does look suspiciously like it's just going "what up." I've come from the 90s. What up? It's quite a nice one. Summer Jam. Got all the little hairy hermit creatures just idling there. I think I'm going to have to... Can we... Oh, yeah. Let's get rid of that. I can't deny this might fuck it up. No, I think we're okay. Always a risk. I've lost count, to be honest. I think we're about there. It's because I had to take... I've got my hands raised in a numerical counter. And because I had to fiddle with something else, I took my hands down and I couldn't remember where my hands were at. That's why I've got a numerical counter. Because I can't remember shit all. My brain can't be trusted with anything. The city centre square. I do like the little sort of fountain water feature. It's not technically a fountain, is it? But it is a water feature, and I do like that. And I even quite like... I'm not sure. I'm in two minds. I don't mind the leaves on the pillars, but I'm not so sure. I think where he's got the light cubes on top of the pillars, that's slightly better. Yeah, I think that one's slightly better. Oh, look at that! The water park! Well, I think we have seen that before, because that's the stackable drackies, which is quite a nice little tool, and little balloons and stuff. It's very pleasant. Do, 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 and the woman on the side of the crater. And we're just down into the bonus ones. Malroth, creepy, springtime. And fun times. Fun times indeed, for it is time to head off. Yar! We've certainly got a choppy situation on our hands, Felden. We better head off to another island and lay low over till this all blows. Nope, it's because he didn't do the proper phrase. Head off to another island and lay over till this blows low. Just point to where you want to go on the map, and I'll guess a course. Okay, well I think... Oh, interesting. Ah, okay. I'm assuming... I think there's a storm, isn't there? So I think what we're going to end up doing is being shipwrecked. But I'll go to the Soggy Scary and see what happens. Right then, get your hands on deck and I'll set sail. Yar. But yeah, I'm assuming we're going to get shipwrecked, maybe? Or he's just going to go in the wrong direction. One of the two. Either way, I don't think we're going to end up on the Soggy Scary. That's fairly crucial. If we do, it's going to be a very pleasant surprise, I suppose. I can go straight back to my pyramid. Turns out everything I thought was correct is going to be wrong. And I can just pop back, finish off my pyramid, and have a lovely time. But I'm reasonably confident we are heading to the third story island, which is clearly not on the map at this exact moment, but we're going to just have to sail. Come sail away. There's a song with sailing. Sail where, I don't know what it is though. I think that was obvious. Yeah, I don't think I got away with that either. I tried to start it out, but no, I don't think it worked. Steady as she blew. Oh dear. What the heck was that? Have we hit something? Sorry about that. Ship piles. Seems like we bumped into a rock or something similar. Hard to tell with all this fog. Hang on. Looks like the fog's clearing. Shiver my fingers. We've only gone and crashed into a Children of Oregon ship. Crash into our ship, would you? Now you've really ruffled my feathers. Wait a second, you old pesky little humans. You should know that your kind are strictly prohibited from sailing the seas. Hold on, humans sailing the seas, one with the face of a smiling simpleton, and the other with a face like thunder. How dare you? I feel targeted there. You must be the bird brain builder and his belligerent buddy that Brother Shane told us about. Trying to fly the nest, are you? Instead, you've landed right in our laps. Ah, heck, they've found us. Looks like we've got no choice. We're going to have to fight our way out. Well, fair enough. I will do that. Malroth, you take care of those two. Or come here, unless you have already taken care of those two. No, you have not. You decided it was more important to interfere with my business than it was to actually do something useful, like take on the two guys. that I left behind. But the monsters are now defeated, so that's good. Boom! Great. Great stuff, lads. Great stuff. Huh, nice job, Feldin. Those big chickens were never going to be a match for us. Huh? Sorry, hearties. He took me by surprise.
Foolish humans, you were so drunk on the taste of victory you forgot to check on your friend, waiting in the wings.
Joke's on you if you think we care about him.
Now, don't make any sudden movements or I'll be forced to call your bluff. Drop your weapons nice and slowly.
What do you say, Veldin? Brown Bear might lose a limb or two, but it'd be alright in the end. Shall we risk it? Ooh, I mean, I'm kind of with Malroth, but I feel like I'm supposed to say no, but I'm not going to. We'll kill them. What? Don't send me up the canal without an oar, mateys. I'm begging you. What do you say, Veldin? Brown Bear? Yeah, okay. They want me to say no. They want me to do the right thing. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so sorry for getting caught like this. Fine. We'll just have to do what the big bozo tells us then.
That's more like it. Now get over here.
Ooh.
Hand over all your equipment. Don't try to hide anything from me. I've got eyes like a hawk. Oh, what's this? A hammer, is it? That settles it. I know where you're headed.
Shit! This is not the bit I thought it was, and they've stolen my clothes. That's just rude. They haven't stolen my glasses, though. Quite pleased at that. Well, this is just great. The others risk their necks to let us escape and we end up getting caught anyway. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault we're in this gherkin. Something on your mind, Veldin? Huh? How should I know where they took your clothes? I'm just glad they let us keep ours. Oh, where could they be taking us? Chill out, Brownbeard. As soon as we reach land, I'll smash our way out of this mess. For the time being, let's get some shut-eye. Yes, I'm down in my little skivvies. I'm surprised they didn't try and take my glasses. Because let's be honest, you would, wouldn't you? It's a slightly smelly toilet. Have a feel around inside. Yes, that's what I always do. Veldin plunges his hand into the pot and has a good feel around. He doesn't find anything of interest. Remember, I think... Do you know what? I think it's important to remember that. It's important to remember that I looked in the toilet once and there was nothing in it. The ship sways to and fro for 3 days and 3 nights. Then, on the 4th night, it finally makes port at a small island. Veldin and Malroth are each subjected to a thorough body search before being thrown into their gloomy jail cells. Okay, I might be wrong then.
Out of bed, you bone-idle bludgers. It's time for morning roll call.
Oh, look, I'm in rags, and this is not the island I thought it was. This is a completely different island. Shit. Well, this will be interesting, because this has cropped up far earlier than I expected.
Hello, you two new. Oh, you poor things.
Oh no, that was supposed to be the prisoner. Whoops, oh well.
Silence, yo. You know the rules. Unless you're praying for forgiveness or begging for mercy, you'll keep those jawbones clenched. Now get yourselves to the yard for roll call, or it's off to the hole with you.
Good to see you again, partner. This place is pretty swish, huh? We've got separate bedrooms and everything. Still, I do wonder what happened to Brownbeard.
Oi, boneheads! It's time for morning roll call, not idle chit-chat. Move your bony backsides. Oh, and you can go ahead and forget your old names. From today onwards, your numbers 6207 and 6208.
I am not a number!
So go on, clear off the roll call, or you have me to deal with.
This guy's already getting on my nerves. Well, whatever. Let's just do what he says and follow the others for now. Okay, let's follow the other prisoners. Although it looks like it, I don't think it's anybody we know. That is not Digby or Dougie at the back there. That is just a random miner. Or a random muscle man, technically, I suppose. And I have none of my tools. I have nothing. I have naught but the book on my back. This is uncomfortable. I can still sprint, though. Whee! Look at me, Mr. Guard. If you did that around a real prison guard, I suspect he'd probably give you a good smacking, but luckily, they did not.
Number 6207, 6208, you're late. Keep this up and it'll be off to the hole with the both of you. That's your final warning. Right, that's everyone from Block 3 accounted for. Let another day of bone-breaking rehabilitation begin.
Aye, Twiggy, what are you yapping about?
Number 6208, I do not expect to see that jawbone of yours moving unless you're praying for forgiveness or begging for mercy.
Drop the high and mighty act, will you? I want to know where we are and why.
You'll find out soon enough. Now, with both of you, you've got a long day of rehabilitation ahead of you. Any funny stuff and it'll be off with your heads.
When will anyone round here give me a straight answer? Come on, let's go see what the other prisoners are up to. Okay, tally-ho. Whee! It's time to sprint like I've never sprinted before. And in fairness, if you sprinted like that, you would probably be classified as sprinting like you never sprinted before, because that is kind of not the way to sprint. You're late! 6207, I've heard about you. My sources tell me you're a builder. Is that so? No. Do not lie, it does not become you. I think I will have you work the field. Hold on, I don't get it. Aren't you guys with the children of Hargon? Come on, spit it out. What are you up to? Why are you making us do this? Silence! You should know by now prisoners are only permitted to speak when praying for forgiveness or begging for mercy. Now, 6207, go and plant 16 cabbage seeds in the field over there. Report back to me when you are done. Okay, I mean, that seems simple enough. Go plant the cabbage. I take it by... yeah, it is this field here. So we'll just pop our cabbage down. Pop a little cabbage down. Everybody loves a bit of cabbage. Cabbage is very important to everybody. Oh, there we go. That is actually officially our 16 cabbages. I thought we'd get more filled full. I was perfectly willing to fill the entire field with cabbages there. But as it turns out, I didn't have to. Hey, buddy. Done so soon, tell me. How did it feel? Was your heart not filled with anticipation for the crops to come, with the simple joy of creation? Seriously, what's your deal? There's turning over a new leaf, and then there's whatever you're doing right now. Speak again, 6208, and I will cast you into the hole myself. And I don't want to be in your hole, mate, so we'll be fine not doing that. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, 6207. It is time for you to experience the joy of creation once more. Go and ask 784 in the storehouse for 16 more seeds to plant in the field. The storehouse is to the east of here, by the gate to the yard. Report to me when you are done with your work. Away with you! Okay. Tally-ho!
Where do you think your numbskulls are going? You're new inmates, aren't you? What's your number again? 6207.
No.
Trial you won't fool me. I know you're number 6207. Come on, out with it.
No. No. Yeah, right, I'm 627. 6207 even.
Good to see you've embraced your new name. Feel free to forget your old one, because you won't be needing it again. I suppose you were on your way to meet 784. She's in the storehouse over there.
let's get a bit of a look at her face. There you go. But. Ooh, new fish, are you? The smile on your face gives that much away. Why, yes, I am 784. As in, I am 784 years old, I think. People used to call me Molly the Monster Meal Maker once upon a time. A crying shame, really. Young folk like you two don't deserve to be locked up on this rock.
Listen, old timer, we need to know what's going on here. Can you tell us that much?
Oh, but of course, this is Skelcatraz. Cool name, because it's like Alcatraz but with skeletons. Skelcatraz. A prison island used to rehabilitate everyone who dares go against the children of Hargon.
I'm starting to get sick of hearing that name.
Skelcatraz is an itsy-bitsy island surrounded by miles and miles of open sea. That is not to mention the steep cliffs and ravenous mermen. Plenty of people have tried to escape, but none have ever managed it. I've been here a whole 40 years now. I think I got tired of staring at the sky and sea on my first day.
I know what you mean. I'm sick of this place already. Just you watch, old timer. We'll blow this joint in no time.
Oh, I used to be like you, yes. Back when I still had hope. I suppose you're both wondering why I was locked up here. Well, it all started with my love of cooking. I used to cook for the monsters from time to time, but then the children came along and said humans and monsters can never be friends, and that's how I ended up here. I thought I would never cook again, but I wasn't able to throw away my humanity so easily. That's why I'm stood here before you now.
What do you mean by throwing away your humanity?
Oh, you'll understand one day. Here the gods beat the love of creation out of you, and then one day you wake up without any hope for the future. Oh, but that's enough misery for one day. I assume you're after some seeds, 6207. Well, here they are. Hurry along and plant them now.
Marvellous, my cabbage.
We'll all be thrown in the hole if you don't hurry up and plant these seeds. Go on now, go.
Okay. I can actually get in here. We was not expecting that. Ooh. Treasure chest. Oh, I got a pot lid. Ooh, secrets. Secrets I am not supposed to be aware of yet. But then again, you are allowed in this room. If they really wanted to keep it 100% secret, they just plain old wouldn't have let you in the room. Because let's be honest, do you know a single fucking gamer who is a good little boy and does exactly what they're told immediately? No. Of course not. Oh, I can actually build off of it. Ha 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 ha! A leather sack. But that is all. That's all I can build at the moment, a leather sack. Plus I can't actually do anything. I can punch things though. Oh shit, I can actually punch the pan. Doesn't do anything, but I can actually punch the pan. And do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to equip my pot lid. Yo, bitch. I've come back with a pot lid. There's nothing you can do about it. Anyway, do you want me to plant them immediately? Was that the point? Or did I have to report to you first? Nah. I'm fairly certain I'm allowed to plant them immediately. Planting cabbages is so very relaxing. Nothing could ever go wrong whilst you're planting cabbages. Oh yeah. I suppose we can investigate over here. He can't do it. My family treasured this goddess statue and everything it stands for. There's no way you can destroy it. Oh, there's nothing that warms up the old bones like seeing a human smash up at something they love. Come on, move your lazy bones. I haven't got all day.
Boo. I trust you have planted all the seeds. Well done, but I would expect no less from a builder such as yourself. We have re-educated... Gonna change his accent suddenly. Doesn't really matter. We have re-educated many an unbeliever in the children's teachings over the years. However, I do not recall ever encountering a fully fledged builder among their number. I look forward to seeing how your rehabilitation progresses. Oh, well, we planted the cabbage. Veldin spends the rest of the day doing countless odd jobs. a row of men in hats, and I'm just doing them all. I spent a day doing odd jobs. And then... Is it the end of the day or the next day? Okay. That will be enough for today. It is time to return to your cells. Collect your evening meal from the jailer on the way out. Be sure to rest well. Another day of rehabilitation waits you tomorrow. Okay, tally-ho. At least we do get food, because otherwise that could be a problem with a hunger meter, but still.
Well, if it isn't the one and only number 5932. Here, got a veritable feast for you.
I don't think you were supposed to slice the man in half, but it's fine.
6207, here's your meal.
Whoosh!
1 cabbage. And 6208, here's yours. Eat up or you'll be nothing but skin and bones before long.
I can do without for a while. Here, Veldin, you should have mine. I got another cabbage.
Oh my, is it possible there's not a single bad bone in your body? How nice of you.
Oh, hello. Good lord. Subscriber cannon, fire. Welcome, and congratulations on 4 months. That is a substantial amount, and thank you very much for continuing. What happened to the pyramid? Well, we got attacked by the children of Hargon, so we had to sort of just pop off from the main island. And,
Hello there.
Hello there. Hello. Ah, Dragon Grass Builders too. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. And yes, hello to you too, Mr. Bluebush. Yes, we were on our island, having a lovely time with our pyramid, but then we got sort of snuck up on by the children of Hargon, and we had to make a daring escape from the island. Unfortunately, our daring escape from the island has wound up leading us into jail, where they've taken all my clothes and left me with rags, but they did, rather nicely, let me keep my sunglasses, which is very pleasant of them. But it is this is the island of Skelcatraz, which is why there's so many skeletons.
That's the last cabbage you'll be seeing in it for a while. Now, back to your cells, boneheads. Go through the gate and head to the right.
Well, do you know what? Fuck you, buddy. I'm going to cook my cabbage. And you are going to be pissed off. Because look at me. I'm building and I'm cooking. Cooking is just another form of building. I'm an anarchist inside of this prison. So fuck you all, fuck you all, fuck you all on Skelcatraz. Yeah. This is for the toilet meeting room. What, you think? You think those were the charges against me? It's because I insisted on people meeting in the toilet room. Although technically I didn't insist on them meeting in the toilet room. They chose. They happened to choose that they thought that was the appropriate location, and I happened to build a toilet on top of it. That was not technically my fault. Which I suppose arguably is the defence of many a good lawyer. Well, it wasn't technically his fault. Dang it, I can't get... Oh, I can get a little bit higher. Do I still have me? No, I don't. Ow. Shit. They've taken me windbreaker. I'm slightly tempted. I mean... Let's grab me dinner first. Just in case. Well, I say that. Actually, it might have been better not to grab my dinner first. Because I might end up losing my dinner. But we shall see. I'm going to save it first, just in case. But I'm just devilishly curious now. Because I don't think I ever actually tried. I just pretty much went with the flow. And never really tried to escape. But there we go. What's going to happen?
Looks like a prisoner went for a swim. Fished them out and put them back in prison.
Okay. They just took me and put me back in the prison. That's fine. That's fair. I'm back in the prison. Hey. Hey, Mr. Torturer Man. I just went for a quick swim. But that's fine. That's alright. We'll head back and just embrace my prison life now, because there's no possible way of escaping, I fear. So this is basically the game, I'm afraid, for the next 6 years to life. I may very well be stuck in prison.
This area is strictly off limits to boneheaded prisoners like you, 6207.
Oh, that was clearly not the way I was supposed to go. That's fair. I thought that was the correct way, in fairness. I'm sure that doesn't count when you're in prison.
Left here, bonehead.
Prison Architect. Someone somewhere is playing it and you're one of the inmates. Indeed. And I am going to be the most nightmarish inmate they have ever experienced. Phew. Was it just me, or did today feel like it was never going to end? And there's one thing I still don't get. Why are the children of Hargon making us plant stuff? I thought they were dead against any kind of creation. Old Lady Cooks no more said they wanted the prisoners to abandon their love of creation and follow their ridiculous teachings. But this seems like a bad way of going about it. Yeah, I guess you're right. There's no point in wasting time wondering about it. We need to focus on getting off this island. Ludo and the others must be worried sick by now. It's time we gotta move on.
Oi, you 6208, less yapping, more napping.
I forgot to ask, how are you this evening, Mr. Blueboosh? Are you doing well? Are you painting this evening? Are you doing any painting? I don't know why I had to say it like that, but it fills a gap between me asking the question being presented on the screen, and then you typing an answer to the question. So I just make strange noises at that point. Not painting yet. Undercoated Doc Ock. Nice. Is that the original Doc Ock or the brand new Doc Ock? Is the brand new Doc Ock even available yet? I don't know. And if you say Doc Ock quickly enough, it does sound like Doc Cock.
I'm Doc Cock. I have 8 penis arms.
Now that's a bad dragon. Which I had no idea existed before you and Mr. Can't Sleep Must Paint were chatting about it.
Get back to yourselves this instant.
Fine.
Back in yourselves now.
Where is my cell? I don't actually know where my cell is. Just the third arm. Yes, I suppose technically you could just have one.
Night night, jailbirds. Everyone back in your cells. The doors will be locked till morning, so don't bother trying anything.
I'll say good night then. I'm in the next cell over if you need me. And don't worry about a thing, okay? That's it. What the heck happened to Brownbeard?
That's enough chatting, boneheads. It's time for lights out.
How many cells in total? I don't know. I don't know official numbers. There is at least 6 other prisoners I think we've seen. And with that, the jailer locks Veldin and the other prisoners in their cells. Oh, it's a sad life I'm doing. Oh, is there a roof? Yes, there is a roof. The cardinal sin. That is why this prison is so dreadfully bad. Because they have committed the cardinal sin. They've installed roofs. Although technically it's all carved out of a cave. So I don't know if you'd necessarily classify that as a roof or not. Ah, It's just a little watering hole. Okay, and then this is my toilet. It's your slightly smelly toilet. Have a feel around inside? Of course. Veldin plunges his hand into the pot and has a good feel around. He doesn't find anything of interest. Now see, that might be the one where it is important to note that I have already stuck my hand in the toilet. Oh. And so, Veldin's first day on Skelkatraz comes to a close. Exhausted from being forced to work the farm from dawn till dusk, he falls into a deep sleep. Then, on the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a watering can. Veldin and the other prisoners water the seeds they planted the day before. On the third day, heavy rains drench the island, forcing everyone to stay inside. Instead of working the fields, the prisoners are forced to clean their entire cell block from top to bottom. Then, on the fourth day... I suppose there you go. There is like a 4-day gap there. Although having said that... oh, hang on.
Out of bed, you bone-headed bludgers. Time for morning roll call.
I'm going to feel around the toilet again. Nothing of interest. But I suppose I am going to leave the cell, which means someone could put something in there. Stop it. Never. I will never stop fondling my toilet.
All right, numbskulls, you know the drill. Head for the yard for a roll call, or it's off to the hole with you.
I was wrong. There's at least 5 others there. Well, having said that, I suppose Malroth does make 6, actually, so I did accidentally get it kind of correct. So far, there is 7 prisoners on this island that we know of. I would imagine there's meant to be an implied extra volume of prisoners around, because a whole island with only 7 prisoners seems a little bit extreme, but, you know, might be the case.
Right, that's everyone from Block 3 accounted for. Let another day of bone-breaking rehabilitation begin. I bet you all can't wait to see how precious cabbages have grown. Go on, I won't stop you. Get your bony backsides to the field. That means you too, 6207 and 6208. If you're trying to tickle my funny bone, you've picked a bad time. Stop slacking and get to the field. Oh, that went almost Arnold Schwarzenegger towards the end there, didn't it? Get to the field. You must get to the field, as opposed to the chopper. Hey there, Mr. Torturer. So many bone puns, it's breaking me. Yep. 6207, you are right. There are only so many hours in the day, and we must devote every one of them to your rehabilitation. Behold the fruits of your labor, perhaps the finest cabbage patch in creation. I mean, it does look good, doesn't it? The 3 days you have spent nurturing those verdant vegetables were all leading... Oh, sorry, that is still supposed to be the torturer. The first step on your path to enlightenment. You'll see the hairstack in the center of your field. Set it alight with this torch and bear witness to the consequences of your actions. Return to me when you have seen enough. Gather round the cabbage patch, prisoners. Open your eyes wide and witness the builder's first step on the long road to redemption.
I can't place that there. Hey buddy, just put your torch down.
Do not tell me you've lost the torch I gave you. You fool. Here, take this.
Nice.
And this time be more careful. Misplace that torch and it will be off to the hole with you.
Hey buddy.
Do not tell me you've lost the torch. You fool, here, take this. And this time be careful.
Hey.
Do not tell me you're that bloody fucking fool. And this time do not lose it.
Do not tell me you've lost the torch. Oh, you're starting to annoy me. You lost the bloody torch. Fuck you. Stop placing torches around me, sir. God damn it. Here, take another torch. Oh, you fool. Take another torch. Hey. Take another torch. Hey. Take another torch. Hey. Take another torch. Hey. Take another torch. Stop losing torches. My God, how have you lost all of these torches? And how am I not seeing where the torches are? You must drive your DM mad. Yeah. I can be supremely obnoxious sometimes. God damn it, you've lost the bloody torch. Well, I'm trying to get him to put me in the hole, but he refuses to put me in the hole, which is annoying. Oh, we can collect some string. I don't necessarily think I need any string, but, I mean, you know. The collection of string does not necessarily mean I don't, you know, just because I don't need string at the moment doesn't mean I won't need string eventually. Not actually, I'm trying to punch the bush, please. So there we go. Better string. Oops. I think we'll possibly have to leave that bit because it's too awkward to get to. But we will try and take those mushrooms. You never know when a poison mushroom will come in handy. Anyway, what he'd like me to do is light that, and I don't. I'm moderately confident I have no choice in this matter. I have to do it, which is fine. There you go. Set fire to the haystack, and there go all of my cabbages. What are you playing at? You spent ages growing those cabbages. Why would you set fire to them? Oh, look. Oh, no, I think that is one of the evil ones. Sometimes difficult to know who's actually meant to be talking. Well, we'll classify this as the skeleton in the background there.
Oh, look, they're all burning. Now, God.
Could ya? Them cabbages were like children to me. We'll consider that the minor. I was so looking forward to harvesting them all. Why would you do such a thing? I don't understand it. You eat... Knickersman. I can't do Welsh. That's Knickersman is about as far as it gets, and that is exclusively based on Nino Cooney. You were the one. I don't understand that. You're the one who planted those cabbage seeds in the first place. Are you some kind of monster? Splendid, 6 to R7. Now, come to me, my child. Hey, you appear to be slightly surrounded by torches. How does it feel, 6 to R7? Does your soul scream? Does your heart ache? This is the true delight of destruction. No need to hold it in. You may cry out in joy if you wish. After all, this is the moment of your rebirth. What? You can just plant new cabbages to replace the old ones. Bold words indeed. We may take the rest of the day off, but I suggest you use the time wisely by staring deep into the darkest recesses of your soul. Well, there's not going to be any dark recesses of your soul, because you, sir, are surrounded by torches. You will not have darkness for quite some time. Who does that whack job think he is? Making you plant a load of cabbages and then burn them? 3 full days you spent growing those. 3 full days, and for what? I've had it up to here with the children of Farragon. They made everyone's lives a misery on Fodderfield and Crimble Doon, and now it's the same story here. What's their fucking problem? I bet that old biddy who gave us the seeds knows what they're all about. Come on, let's go talk to her. Okay, let's go talk to Martha or Maggie? I can't remember. Molly. It was Molly, actually. So none of the above.
Well, they finally made you burn the cabbages, did they? That's what all this talk of rehabilitation and rebirth boils down to, making you see how futile all your acts of creation really are. Creation leads to attachment, attachment leads to fear, fear leads to hate, hate leads to suffering,
and suffering leads to the dark side of the Force. That's
why the children of Hargon believe creation to be evil, and it's a belief they're keen to spread.
Well, if they're so big on destruction, how about we smash their skulls in and get out of here?
It won't do you any good. I told you before, nobody's ever escaped this place, right? There are only two ways to get off this rock. Die, or hand over your heart and soul to the children of Hargon.
If I ever meet this Hargon guy, I'm gonna have a word with him about those kids. Who the heck is he anyway?
The High Priest Hargon is the father of all destruction. And they say that no one in this world has ever actually seen him in the flesh.
So you're saying these monsters are so dumb they worship someone they've never even seen?
Oh, that's enough. Stop asking questions and just accept things for what they are.
I mean, she's going some to be 12. I mean, that's a hell of a look for a 12-year-old. But you never know. You never know. Although she did claim she's been here for 40 years, so if she is 12, she's got some kind of time paradox going on.
In time, you'll get used to it and become numb to everything, just like me. Go and have a nice sit down on that bench. It'll be dusk before you know it.
What if I don't want to sit on your bench? What if I want to punch this grass? What if Malroth wants to punch that grass? What if we punch all the grass round here? Yeah. Hey, you. I'm going to try punching you. Punching him doesn't do any difference.
Aye. 6207, where do you think you're going? Get that bony behind back where it belongs.
You bastard. Oh, I can punch one of those. Cool. He is much better at punching things. I can't punch that. I can't punch a full barrel. So I can punch broken things. Oh, I can punch punch wooden crates. Apparently Malroth, though, decides to ignore this instruction, which is slightly weird. Why in the world would you completely ignore smashing the crates? But you're perfectly fine smashing everything else with me. But the crates, no, that'd be too much like being destructive. No, I can't do anything about those. But we can gather some more grass. And this is basically just a just-in-case situation. I don't necessarily think I'll need all this grass. But you know what? It's better to have the grass and not need the grass than need the grass and not have the grass. So that's the premise behind me stealing all their stuff. Can we get rid of that? No, we can't. Can we punch that? No, we can't. Just gonna carry on trying to punch everything that I can. Oh, we could light that up. Don't necessarily think that would help me. We can smash that. Oh, and then we can actually, I suppose, we can actually completely... Waiting for them to re-strip your items. It's a distinct possibility. I'm relatively certain they don't, but it is a distinct possibility. But it's interesting the fact that I can smash those boxes, because it does mean I can get over here. Not that it helps me, because there's nothing to actually do on that workbench, but I'm fairly certain you're supposed to wait until the designated time frame to find that workbench. But fuck it. I'm gonna just keep smashing, because I am a big old smashing bastard. Even without my hammer, I can smash things. Can I smash that chest? No, I can't. Sure. I'm having that at some point, though. Right, no wonder you ended up in prison. You're a right little thief, aren't you? Stealing everybody's chests, stealing underground doors. You're a right thief. Anyway, if we're done for the day, we might as well just kick back on this bench and wait for nightfall. What do you say, Veldin? Shall we wait here until the sun goes down? Yeah, we might as well. Right, let's put our heads together and think about our next move. I mean, ideally, something that will get us out of prison. That will be enough for today. It is time to return to your cells. Collect your evening meal from the jailer on the way out. Be sure to rest well. Another day of rehabilitation awaits you tomorrow. I've decided to lean into the fact that the main guardsman is going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger now. For no good reason.
Well, if it isn't the one and only number 5932, here, I've got a veritable feast for you. Ah, I slash my cabbage at you. Now, 6207, here's your sumptuous supper. I slash my cabbage at you. And good evening, 6208. Enjoying your cabbage-free diet? You won't be getting any today, either.
Malroth, I don't think, needs food. He's the incarnation of evil. Can I pop a... No, I can't. That's fine. But I can apparently cook... Ooh! Interessante! I can cook dried grass and frog stools. And what will happen? I get 5 bags of something. Monster munchies. I don't think I'm supposed to know that yet. But I do now. So, awesome. I think I'm jumping. I'm so jumping the gun and getting too far ahead of the game at this point. Because I'm doing lots of things that I'm not supposed to have any clue about how to do. Because I'm massively certain you're not supposed to know about Monster Munchies for quite some time, in fairness. Well, that might be Molly. I think Molly's the one who teaches it, so it's probably in this area. It's just, you're supposed to wait for the story to go, here, you should do this in the frying pan. Not just go, hey, can I do this in the frying pan? But they're quite quick, so we'll have another set of those. This is what happens when you get a bit above your station and start doing things without the game's explicit permission. You start jumping ahead of things. Which I'm fine with to a certain extent. But in fairness, this chapter I don't think has a huge amount of building because you are pretty corralled, in fairness, because, you know, you're in prison. There's not many places you can go. And there's not many things you can do. You just have to embrace the prison life. We are prisoners, prisoners in here. Prisoners, prisoners.
Nighty-night, jailbirds. Everyone back in your cells. The doors will be locked till morning, so don't bother trying anything. What a waste of a day. I can't wait to get off this stupid rock. I don't know when, but our chance will come someday. And if we stay alert and alive, we can take it. Night-night, Malroth. And with that, the jailer locks Veldin and the other prisoners in their cells. Check the toilet. Nothing interesting in the toilet. What a shame. Go to sleep then, I suppose. And so Veldin's 4th day on Skelkatraz draws to a close. He lies down on his little straw bed, thinking of Lulu. I bet he does, dirty little bastard. And the others back on the Isle of Awakening. As he closes his eyes, he swears to himself, for fuck's sake, why am I on a prison island? That he will escape Skelkatraz as soon as he possibly can. Ba-ba-ba. It's time to go to sleep right now. There we go. Much better. Out of bed, you bone-idle bludgers. It's time for morning roll call.
First, it's time to fondle the toilet. Nope, nothing in the toilet of any interest.
Alright, numbskulls, you know the drill. Head for the yard for roll call, and it's off with the hole with you.
Do you know what? What if I want to go down the hole? Bitch. Yeah? You gonna put down the fucking hole? Yeah? Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna put me down the hole, you little punk. You wouldn't dare put me in the hole. No one puts Veldin in a hole. Like no one puts Baby in a corner. Primarily because we left the crib in the middle of the room, but that's not the point. If we put the crib in the corner of the room, I could put the baby in the corner. Yo, looks like you need to tidy up your front garden. I'll do it for you, because I need that dry grass. Right. Get to the chopper. Right. That's everyone from Block 3 accounted for. I must say, yesterday was quite something. It really warmed my bones seeing those cabbages go up in flames like that. Destroying your own creations is a noble act indeed. Now, let another day of bone-breaking rehabilitation begin. I can't maintain Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper. You there, 6207 and 6208. Get your bony backsides to the farm. I'm looking forward to seeing your progress. You know, I can't wait for the day when that faint light of hope in your eyes is extinguished. You'll never extinguish my hope. It burns like your little flamey fires. Fuck you. I will start smashing things, yeah. Yeah, you thought you were big, you thought you were clever. I just smashed a pile of wood. Fuck you, guys. Fuck you all. I love the fact that he's still got the torches around him. I wasn't sure. I thought they might reset the torches once I'd left this area for a prolonged period. Good morning, 607. You know, it has been 5 days now since you joined us on the path to salvation. In honor of this milestone, I'm going to allow you to work the fields again today. Doesn't that sound fun? Ooh, immediately 32 cabbage seeds. You will be planting cabbage seeds once more. Yes, 32 of them. Now hurry up and get to work. Looks like we have to start the cycle again. Do you know what? I'm going to try something. Once again, I'm going to try something maverick and potentially game-breaking. But we'll see. I'm sure they've thought of it, so I imagine it nothing... Oh, that was an interesting, weird little thing in the corner there. Something seemed to sort of flash down the side of the screen. I'm not entirely sure what that was. I'm slightly concerned. Now, I might not necessarily be able to do my Maverick manoeuvre, but we shall see what happens. If I have a moment or two. There we go. Nice. Just in case it goes horribly wrong. I don't think it will, because I'm sure they've thought of someone being this dick-headed. But, there you go. Just going to light that up early. No, I didn't do anything. And it'll probably be back in the morning. And if it's not, well, I fucked it. I trust you have planted all of the seeds. Splendid. You are so eager to burn them in glorious hellfire that you planted them in double time. I shall reward your efforts by giving you some free time. Run along and do as you please. I am well aware that you humans cannot help but think about yourselves when left to your own devices. A period of self-reflection is necessary from time to time for sinful prisoners such as yourselves. Enjoy coming face to face with your own futile existence, 6207. I don't know if there's any significance to the number 6207. I'm unaware. Off the top of my head, I'm unaware of any significance, because I don't even think it would form a word, because the second letter would be B. But we'll have a look. What's the first letter? A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, it would be F, B. And then 0 is not a letter. And then you'd have F, A, B, C, D, F, J, G. So yeah, it'd be F, B, nothing, G. So it's not a simple sort of alphanumerical switch. But as I say, I don't know if maybe 6207 is some kind of reference. But I couldn't tell you if it is. Free time for self-reflection, some reward. Whenever I'm left twiddling my thumbs, so many questions come into my mind. Like, how did I end up on the Isle of Awakening to begin with? And how come I'm only the only one who can't build stuff? Yeah, I guess you're right. This is exactly what the wacko wants me to be doing. Self-reflection is for idiots. Let's stop doing it right now. Let's work out how we're getting off this island instead. One of the prisoners here is bound to have tried escaping before. Let's try asking around for ideas. Okay, well, I was supposed to actually remain over here. Slightly inconvenient, but not a huge problem. I'll take this torch. Don't know how many torches I particularly need, but I've got plenty. I'm going to leave the ones directly surrounding our torture fella, but I'll take back these ones. You got to assume I don't need more than one torch, but you never know. Might be nice to have them, I suppose. Again, have them and not need them, rather than not having them at all. Hey, buddy. I don't really have a voice for you, sir. So, what would you like your voice to be? It's going to have to just be sort of... He's got sort of like half eyes, so maybe like... you're trying to learn more about Skelkatraz. All of us here are on field duty are fairly recent arrivals. So none of us are that knowledgeable about the place, to be honest. Why don't you try talking to 784 in the storehouse. She's bound to know something us newcomers don't. All roads lead to Molly, it would seem. Oi, can I be honest with you? I ain't really feeling up to it today. Lucky for me, I just... the thing to cheer myself up after a hard day's graft. I can't wait till bedtime. I don't 100% want to know what he's planning on doing at bedtime, but it's fine. We don't need to ask him the details. Can I smash the fence? No, I can't. So many voices. I just don't have enough. What? You want to know if there's a way off... Oh, that's... yeah, I'll do. G'day. What, you want to know if there's a way off the island? Keep your voice down. What if one of the jailers hears you? Do you want to spend some quality time in the hole that badly? They say there's a crazed hammerhead they keep locked up down there. I definitely wouldn't want to share a cell with it, that's for sure. Anyway, I really should get back to work before someone tells me off. Stop distracting me, okay? And then you... I don't know. I have no more. I have no more, sir. No more. Is that gonna be his voice? He's just going Let me fill you in on how the children turn humans into believers. First, they start by giving you the tiniest hint of hope. Then they sit back and let that hope grow until you start to believe things might work out for the best. That's when they smash your dreams into pieces. That's exactly what the Cabbage Patch was for. So many tiny green dreams, all gone. I have to admit, it bloody works. Oh boy, how it works. There we go. I think now we talk to Molly. Get ourselves a little bit of Molly. That will make the day better.
Look at you two sauntering around without...
Bip's voice, I take it. Maybe I'll have to remember it at some point. Well, that's surprisingly difficult to do, I think, just by myself. I need your original version to then be able to do an approximation.
Sauntering around without a care in the world, you've made yourself right at home, haven't you? Someone's always watching you here, but you also get a surprising amount of time to yourself. That's a calculated move on their part, of course.
But why? Seems like they could do a lot worse than just leaving us to reflect on how bad we got it if they really wanted to.
Let me put it this way. If it was all stick and no carrot, the prisoners would only grow to despise the children. Now that I think of it, Why are you talking to me anyway? How many times do I have to tell you there's no way off this island? Honestly, if you're going to have to give up on that silly dream of yours sooner or later. You might be a builder, but you'll learn soon enough that that doesn't bring you any benefits here.
A builder? Huh? Who said that? Do you know who said that? Chester Phoenix said that. Hello, hello, hello to you, Chester Phoenix. And for your information, you sound like this. Hello? Apparently. But yes, welcome, Mr. Chester Phoenix. How are you this evening? Are you doing well? And perhaps, what are you doing? Are you doing anything interesting?
What are you doing right now? Tell me.
Who said that? The slime looks like it wants to be Veldin's friend. Oh, it's just a slime. Didn't know you had them on Skelkatraz.
What? Looks like it's taken quite a shine to you. Heaven knows why.
You was conquering the Baltics. That's definitely not a euphemism, I'm sure. No, in fairness, I saw you were doing Crusader Kings, I believe. Crusader Kings 3, specifically. So how was that? I'm assuming you did conquer the Baltics. You didn't spend time trying to conquer the Baltics and then failing to conquer the Baltics. The more I say Baltics, I want to say Balticles. But there you go.
Heaven knows why. Let's try something out. Here, take this.
It's a Wrangler's Ring. I bet it is. Make many more monster mates.
I've been keeping it well hidden from the guards just in case I ever needed it. That Wrangler's Ring lets you make friends with monsters, provided you're interested in making friends first. If you feed them some monster munchies, you'll seal the deal. Why don't you try giving the slime some of these monster munchies and see what happens? Go on.
Woo! I get my monster munchies. I've already got a load, but that's fine, Molly. That's fine. There are some monsters who'll want to befriend you after you defeat them. Feed them some monster munchies and they'll join your party. Okay, buddy, I don't think I actually have to worry about it, but I do have a time limit, annoyingly, but it's reasonably generous. But you do still have to be slightly cautious. I've befriended the slime! The slime has joined me on my epic quest, yes he has. The slime joins Veldin's team, oh yes, he does. You conquered the Baltics, although it was a bit dicey for a bit. Oh, you don't want to dice your Baltics. There was a very large battle and I had to sail across the North Sea to beat up some Scots for some reason. I mean, it's technically you're in the game, so you should know the reason you're beating up the Scots, but that's fine. Suppose if you don't know... Oh, fuck me, I have to actually name it. Okay. Not expecting to name a slime. Let's see. K was not supposed to be the one. Okay. So, the rules for naming a slime. It has to have slime or goo in it. So I could do blue goosh. I could do you like, or goo boosh. Goo boosh. But yeah, it has to have some kind of goo or slime. So I'm happy to go with a blue boosh variation with some kind of slime word in it. So would you care for goo boosh or blue goosh? I don't know which one is better. Bill Buttlicker. I don't know if I want to call him Bill Buttlicker. And it also has to have a slime reference in it. So why do I always join in on the gross word? Okay. Oh, well, we've got... I think as it's gone from Blue Boosh himself, it's going to have to be Blue Goosh. But we have a vote for Goo Boosh as well. Gooboosh. Blue Jim Jizlicker. Okay, I mean, I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's better. But it is at least slightly more slimy based, I suppose. But there we go. Blue Goosh. Barry shit, please. Again, needed some kind of slime in it. And yes, hello, both Skink Rules and Can't Sleep Must Paint. Welcome. You have joined us on Skelcatraz because we've been taken to prison, which is unfortunate, but there you go. Wet Gary shitpiece, there you go, that's better. You was beating them up because they declared they had sovereignty over some part of the Baltics we'd taken, but they're in fucking Scotland. That is unfortunate. How are both of you this evening, Skink and Can't Sleep? Have you been doing anything interesting? Have you been doing any extra painting, Mr. Sleepy? Or, I don't know. Yeah, that'll do. Have you been doing painting, Mr. Sleepy? Well, that's an interesting way to make new friends, I suppose.
Yum, yum. Monster Munch is my favourite. I'm not a bad slime, you know. I promise.
You have been painting. Very nice. What have you been painting? Are you still, I suppose you're probably still doing Nebula. And just Minecraft. Did you build anything interesting in Minecraft? It sounded like you were the designated sort of enchanter. Have you been sort of in your little cave going? I'm assuming that's how you enchant things. But there you go. And Mr. Sleepy is better than Mr. Sees Me Peeing. Yeah, true. Both sound slightly like children's characters, but Mr. Sleepy sounds like the children's character that's like heroic and like with the child.
Hello, I'm Mr. Sleepy. Oh, lovely.
Whereas Mr. Sees Me Peeing sounds like the nightmare monster.
I am here. I live in the toilet under the rim.
But both have some kind of moral tale to tell, perhaps. You enchanted Baz's boots and have made a super speed path in the mines. Nice. How do you make a super speed path? I'm mildly curious.
It's what you thought I was going to say, wasn't it? The name's Splodger Splodgington. Ooze Squire.
So his official name is Splodger Splodgington, which I think is almost as bad as Jim Jizlicker. But there you go. Ah, Mr. Sees Me Peeing from under the rim. Tale as old as time, indeed. Soul Speed enchant on boots, soil. Oh, I see. You do soul soil. I have never heard of soul soil. Or soul sand. Oh, okay, soul sand. Soul sand, I think I do vaguely remember, actually. I think that was in it when I was still playing Minecraft.
Don't be thinking you can give me any old silly nickname, Gooman.
Oh, I think he may have... Nope. He's fine with it.
That said, Blue Goosh isn't too shabby. Alright then, I'll take it. It's not like anyone oozes their real names around here anyway.
Blow me down, it's him, old Gottfried's slimy sidekick.
You're a builder, right? I bet we could get off this island if we squished our heads together. Let me help you escape.
As if a slime would be any use to us.
I think you'll find I'll come in very useful indeed, Mr. Malroth. Let's talk later. The jailers tend to drop their guard after the sun goes down.
Yes, you've sold the sand. How much did you sell the sand for? Because I hope you made a profit. But yes, soul sand, the sand of the soul. And if you do get sand up your soul, you're in for a bad time. You've got to clean that out immediately. That's what Anakin was talking about. When Anakin was going, I hate sand, it was explicitly because he found he had sand up his soul.
If you don't have anything better to do, just sit on that bench over there. It will be sunset in no slime. Oh, and one more thing. If the screws see me with you, they might think I'm up to no goo. I'll squeeze myself into your rags and lie low until night slime.
I'm uncomfortable with this situation.
Whoa, you'd never know he was in there. Maybe that slime will come in handy after all.
If you've got sand in your soul, you have sandals. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Well then, why don't we do as Blue Goose says and have a seat on that bench over there? Why don't you kiss my ass? Don't actually do that, but what I'm going to do is make more monster munchies, because you never know when they might come in handy. Well, it's true what it says. It does change when the sun goes down. I'll make one more since I've got enough frog stalls for one more, and then I'm not going to worry too much about it, because I think 20 is probably going to be more than enough. And I don't know how many monsters you do actually before. Whoops. Well, I just put my cord in my bag. Not that it makes much difference, but, you know. Since I've got the space, I might as well keep the cord on the hotbar. But then again, I don't want to burn my cord. That would be terribly inconvenient. I think that doesn't cook by itself. That's fine. Wait for evening. I fear that is my only option. Sit on the bench. If we're done for the day, we might as well just kick back on this bench and wait for nightfall. What do you say, Veldin? Shall we wait here till the sun goes down? Yes. Right, let's put our heads together and think about our next move. Well, we've got a slime friend. I don't 100% know how that's going to help, but we do have a slime friend. That will be enough for today. It is time to return to your cells. Collect your evening meal from the jailer on the way out. Be sure to rest well. Another day of rehabilitation awaits you tomorrow. Okay, let's go collect our cabbage. Cabbage is for me. Cabbage is for you.
Well, if it isn't the one and only number 5932. Here, I've got a veritable feast for you.
Slash goes the cabbage into the man.
6207, here's your sumptuous supper. Oh, he gave me another cabbage. And good evening, 6208. Enjoying your cabbage-free diet? You won't be getting any today either.
God, I don't even fucking care. I don't even like cabbage. If you're waiting until the sun goes down, perhaps you should do it over the river flowing out of town. Is that a reference? I don't get it if it is. I don't get many references, I fear. My brain doesn't work for references. Because even if I've heard of the thing you're referencing, my brain doesn't register and kick in enough to actually acknowledge that, oh yeah, no, that's the thing you know. It just goes, that is pretty much the functionality of my brain. It's blib 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 blib. Slightly slower than that. That suggests a certain level of action and speed to the brain. It's a bit more like blib blib. Oh, it's from the Arctic Monkeys song. I wouldn't have known that reference because I don't particularly. I do recognise the name Arctic Monkeys because, you know, it's cold enough out there to freeze the brass ones off of a monkey. But I don't know any of the Arctic Monkeys songs.
Nighty-night, jailbirds. Everyone back in your cells. The doors will be locked till morning, so don't bother trying anything.
Tonight's the night we get our plan underway. No idea how much of help that slime will be, but I'm sure we'll get off this rock one way or another. After all, that pyramid of ours isn't going to build itself. You know Digby and Odelia are going to slack off if I'm not there to crack the whip.
6208, is that your jawbone I see moving?
Looks like this is good night. The rest is up to you. Find us a way off this idiotic island.
That's enough chatting, boneheads. It's time for lights out.
In we go. And with that, the jailer locks Veldin and the other prisoners in their cells. Time for... oh.
Time for petty pies, you horrible lot. If I catch you yapping, it'll be off to the hole with you.
Really like threatening us with the hole. They're completely obsessed with the hole. They were very big about 15 years ago, and since then they've kind of flown a bit under the radar. Yes, I mean 15 years ago is probably when I heard of them. But I didn't particularly listen to them when they were massive, and I didn't particularly keep up with them because I didn't particularly listen to them when they were massive, I suppose.
Psst,
6207? Oi, 6207?
Oh, he's here. One moment, Mr. Blue Goosh. I have to fondle my toilet in the evening. Where did you put the prisoners that were talking? They're in the hole. Wonderful. I forgot all about that. I'm so glad you reminded me, because that is a wonderful sketch. Veldin plunges his hand into the pot and has a good feel around. He doesn't find anything of interest, though. Hey, buddy.
You want to escape from here, don't you? Then Betty Byers will have to wait. I happen to know that there's a super special secret hidden somewhere in your cell. Take a good look around and see if you can find it.
Okay. So this might be the point where, do note, I've technically already looked in the toilet. But I'm going to look in the toilet again. Is there something magically going to appear in the toilet? No. That's fine. That's fair. That is fair, in fairness. Can I punch that? No. Can I punch that? Can I talk about that? Can I punch that? No. Oh, hey! I punched my bed. Wasn't expecting that one. It's one of the best videos on YouTube. It's true, apart from the unfortunate thing that when it was on YouTube, it ended up in the hole. How was Cotton? Just in case you're not reading the chat, Mr. Can't Sleep Must Paint. How was Cotton? Who was Cotton? I know, he's a pilot from X-Wing. I'm assuming. Was that the E-Wing pilot? So that's the old... See, that's the brain trying to work on overdrive. It just becomes a series of... the E-Wing... Mine's a Moria E-Wing. See, eventually the brain works. Takes a while, but it does work in the end.
Ahoy there, fuck!
Just quickly for Chester's benefit, that's based on Skink's character in D&D. Just in case, because just out of context,
Ahoy there, fuck!
Blue Bush might very well have been concerning. I don't know. The E-Wings are dead. Oh. The J-E-Wing. Interesting. Or was that a mistake? No. Or is that supposed to be the Jewing? Oh, a type foul. Fair enough. Thought maybe it was a Hasidic E-Wing, and it was just the Jewing. I've come on down, my child, for the Jewing. I'm going to try and sort of come away from that topic because I don't know enough not to end up being terribly anti-religion towards Jewish people, which would not be good. I'd probably get cancelled, but that's fine. But anyway, that's the Yuzon Vong War stuff. Oh, do you know what? I don't know much about the extended universe. I did read a few of the books back in the day, but most of the ones I read were the sort of children of I think it was meant to be the children of Luke and someone else, and the children of Han and Leia. Yes.
Good work now. Take a closer look at the floor. Those blocks look a bit different to the others, don't they?
They do. Let me just pick up my bed, because I am going to need the bed at some point. But oh, that's interesting. Anyway, the crucial thing is I can actually punch my way through these blocks, which is the key to everything.
Great! That's the hole I was hoping you'd find. Well, what are you waiting for? Go on down.
Okay, well first... Well, okay, no, I don't need the first. I can just go down the stairs.
Look at this! I found a secret passageway.
Yeah! The only thing I know about the Star Wars EU is that it was mostly not great, but it had some of the best stuff in all of Star Wars in it. I must admit, I don't... You know, all of the bits I read, I enjoyed. But then that doesn't necessarily say much, because I tend to enjoy most of the things I experience, it seems. I don't know why. I just have low standards, I suppose.
How is it down there? An old Gooman friend of mine dug this tunnel in secret.
Very filler, but the killer was absolutely incredible. Ah, good. There were some proper clangers, but there was lots of good stuff, I see. Maybe I only ever stumbled on the good stuff, or, as I say, maybe my standards are just vastly lower than most people's.
Check that pot over there for more useful information.
Now, is it going to be oozeful information, or a lot of poo? Judging by the terrible stench, this pot seems to have been used as a prisoner's toilet. Have a feel around inside. Yep. Low standards. I'll stick my hand in a toilet. It's not low standards, it's just having a positive outlook. I don't think I've ever been accused of having a positive outlook. He doesn't find anything of interest. Well, shit. And shit, apparently, is not interesting. But we'll have a route around in the second one. What luck! Veldin finds a slightly soiled piece of paper. Lovely. Obtains a slightly soiled note. The other one I liked, there was... now, what was it? I can't remember what the team... There was one I liked, which was Dash Rendar. I really quite enjoyed that one, because I liked what they had with the side character who's no longer in X-Wing. He used to be a pilot in the you know, YT, whatever it is, the Outrider ship, but he's no longer in it. But I did like that book. I don't know if it's Shadows of the Empire or whether it was one of the others. And Lebo, yes, it was Lebo, but I think there was another fella as well, because Lebo's the droid, isn't it? I think it was the alien fella, whose name absolutely escapes me. But if you do manage to type it in, I might recognise it. But as I say, Lebo, I think, was the droid, wasn't he? Whereas I'm thinking of the alien friend. But I might be mistaken. No, not Zizor. No, never run with Zizors. No, he was the villain of the piece, wasn't he? Or potentially villain of one of the pieces, anyway. But yeah, no, I'm fairly certain he had a co-pilot who was an alien fella. No, well, if it is Auril, I don't recognise the name. But certainly it doesn't spring out as, yes, that's correct. As I say, I think he was one of the classic version 1 pilots of the Outrider. Can't quite remember his ability, but I used to use him as well. Anyway, slightly soiled note.
So you've found something, have you?
Auril was Corrin's mate, then it was Dash and Lebo. Oh, interesting. Okay. Mate. Eden Vril! That's the fella. That's the fella. I'm fairly certain in the book I read, it was Dash, Lebo and Eden Vril was in it. And I don't know if this is classified as spoilers. It is technically a spoiler. But the book is quite long. Quite old, rather. I'm fairly certain Eden sacrificed himself at the end. And that was very good. It was a very good moment. It was a very delightful book. When performing a primary weapon attack against a stressed ship, roll 1 additional attack die. That's the one, I think. Yes. But yeah, he did appear in one of the books with Dash, I believe. But it might not have been Shadows of the Empire. It may have been an alternate one, I don't know. But we'll see. I think Eden was before Shadows, okay. So it was one of the earlier ones, but that's fine. And then the other one, and again, I can't remember the title, and I can't really remember many of the characters in it, which is entirely useless information, but the crucial part of the book I quite liked was it reminded me of like heist stuff. So it reminded me of something like Leverage, the TV series Leverage, where they were sort of like doing more criminal acts in the name of the rebellion and stuff, trying to sort of steal documents and bits and pieces like that. And it was very good, very entertaining, because it was a nice little team affair where you sort of found out more about the team as you read on, and it was very entertaining. It's just a shame I can't really remember much other than I enjoyed it, and it was a sort of heisty type thing. But still, try splattening it out on the simple small table and see what it says. Okay, I will place my brand new slightly soiled note.
Go on then, take a closer look. What does it say? Scoundrels? I don't... Possibly?
but it doesn't. It's not leaping out as a sort of known name, but it is distinctly possible. Distinctly possible.
Mission: escape from Skelkatraz. I am the escapologist extraordinaire. No prison, penitentiary, or pail of water can hold me. Tonight, I shall attempt my most daring getaway yet. I shall escape from Skelkatraz. None other has achieved this feat. It pains me to leave my slimy sidekick behind, but such is the lot of the professional powder taker. These feet were made for fleeing, and that's just what they'll do. I will succeed, of that there is no doubt. However, should by some fatal fortune my mission fail, I implore whosoever finds this letter to do what I could not. Yours fleetingly, Gottfried, escapologist extraordinaire.
Gottfried got caught by the children of Hargoon on Pawpoos so that he could come to Skelkatraz, break out, and prove himself to be the best escape artist of all slime. But his plan failed, he disappeared, and no Blobby has ever seen him since.
That was a stretch, Dragon Quest. That was a stretch. And nobody wants Blobby in their life. Blobby, 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 blobby. Blobby, 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 blobby.
Professional powder taker, but he runs fast to get his powder in, yes. But it is a strange phrase. I've certainly never heard of the phrase professional powder taker. I'm assuming it's probably something to do with escapologist. Or escapologism. Maybe don't call it escapologism. I've escaped, and I have to apologise for midgism. Mr. Blobby is terrifying. I used to enjoy Mr. Blobby, I can't deny it. But there you go. I know, try describing Mr. Blobby to someone without sounding mental. It's impossible, because it was absolutely bizarre, but it's one of those weird ones, but still, he isn't some type of real-life SCP.
But his plan failed, he disappeared, and no Blobby has seen him since. I always admired Gottfried. I've been waiting for someone to carry on his legacy ever since he vanished. Please, 6207, don't let my friend's dreams be squelched. Tell me you'll finish what Gottfried started and escape from Skelkatraz. You will, won't you?
Nah, you're alright.
Oh, don't be such a stick in the sludge. Surely you don't want to be stuck here forever. You'll do it, won't you?
Of course I will, because I haven't got any choice. Damn you, game.
Goo, right, let's get gooing then.
Phrasing, Mr. Blue Goosh. We don't need to get going at this point.
Now, I don't want to ruin the moment, but we're in a bit of a sticky situation.
Well, that's because we went and gooed ourselves.
Skelkatraz is surrounded by miles and miles of ocean.
Oh, to take a powder is to drop and vanish. Oh, I see. Well, like dropping a bag of flour might be a stretched reference to that. Yeah, I'm assuming then, yeah, it is going to be that sort of smoke bomb effect, I'm assuming, is the idea. A magician's sort of, flashbang and away type affair. I don't know whether they ever did do it in sort of using flour. I don't know. But yes, we have a blue goosh. And we're gooing everywhere. Hello, Mr. Caliber. Welcome. How are you doing today? Are you doing anything interesting? We've got someone painting. Someone conquering the Baltics. In fact, I think we might have two people painting by now. There's a Doc Ock and a Nibbler. Nibbler. No, there's not a Nibbler. Nibbler. But no, there's a Nebula and a Doc Ock. Which, in fairness, I keep ending up saying Doc Ock. But still, that's not necessarily the point. I think it's a Carney phrase. Wrestlers use the phrase when the bad guys are stood in the ring, the good guys run in and the bad guys scatter. They took a powder. Ah, okay. Interesting. And you stopped the conquest of the Baltics. That's fair. But you did have one, and that's crucial. And apparently you've hosted me. Well done. That's delightful. I don't really have an alert for that, because I'm not used to it being a thing. But I think you can just /host or something, I believe. I'm not entirely certain, but nonetheless, you can host them. At some point, I'll have to have a go at making an alert for that, perhaps. But haven't really got inspiration for one that's just hosting. But still, so you have to do it manually. I see. I'm assuming my hosting does still work. I've never really checked in. I think it's one of those odd ones where it's like it only really registers if someone's actually watching it. So most of the time the host doesn't really register, I think. But I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of Twitch, I fear. Put a dot on your cock and you'll cock well in your work. It's a lot of complicated wordings. We left off on me trying to decide if I wanted to send my son and heir to prison for having an affair. I see. Did he have an affair with one of those foul Scots? One of those foul Scots you had trouble with? Is that the issue you've got? My son and heir went off and fucked a Scottish person. I cannot forgive this. You're going to prison. But you might have to forgive them. Is it your only son and heir? Because if it's your only son and heir, that could be an issue. But yes, I think the fuck is probably the correct response, except for the fact that I know he's referring to Crusader Kings 3, if you were wondering.
Skelcatraz is surrounded by miles and miles of ocean. Even if we do manage to escape, we won't be going anywhere without a boat. What's that? The children of Hargoon seized the boat you were on when they caught you. That slooper! If your ship's being held somewhere nearby, we can ooze it to make our getaway. Still, I'm surprised you were sailing the seas in the first place. The children don't allow Goomans to ooze boats, you know. But it's worked out in our favour, this slime. All we have to do now is find a way out of here and find your ship.
No, he's not my only son, but he is my hair. He is my hair. I wear him on my head. And he's got better stats. I love that that's a phrase that you can use. Got better stats than my other son. So this thing uses slime puns constantly. Yes, that is the whole thing with slimes in the game. They constantly try and get goo, ooze, and we have recently found that they are happy to throw in a blobby from now and again. No blobby. I'm sure that would never get annoying. Well, you're going to find out, because it's going to continue happening, because this is our best friend now. This is our best and only friend. I wish I could make my daughter my hair. She's got congenital traits she can pass on. Well, yeah, that'd probably be quite good, but I think in those sorts of times, the daughters are exclusively used for marrying off and making peace. You threw in a blobby last night, Mrs. wasn't happy. Oh dear. Not sure you want to pass on your genital traits. Depends on what those traits are. If it's genital warts, no. If it's massive wang, probably useful. Although probably not so much on a daughter. You probably don't want a massive wang on your daughter, but hey, back in those times, they probably did want massive wangs on their daughters, because that would make them a son. Or son enough for that era of people. Gottfried's tunnel oozed to be a lot longer than this. Maybe you could ooze your fists to break through any sand that's blocking the way. Okay, let's try and use my fists on Gottfried's tunnel. I don't think that's the right one, no, because that's dirt. No, here's the sand. I mean, I sort of knew where the sand was. In terms of physically looking at the sand, I could tell where the sand was. However, once again, one of the banes of having played the game before, I recognise that as one of the tunnels we're supposed to take at some point. But because I don't have a hammer...
Gooey! You smashed that sand like it was nothing. I wish I had hands so that I could squish stuff like you Goomans. It looks like the tunnel keeps going. Let's check it out.
Well, first, I have to clear all of the sand, because I am not the sort of person who only does half a job. I do the whole job. I am the master of the jobby.
and I will do the whole jobby. I don't leave half a jobby. I do maximum jobby. Do. See, look at how much jobby I'm doing. Jobbying for days. And that would be an unpleasant time, wouldn't it, really, if you were stuck jobbying for days, but still. Do. But have you got a jobby wee chair? A jobby wee chair? I don't think so. Is that like a Ouija board for when you can get a jobby? I'm assuming not. I'm assuming you're out-referencing me. As is very easily done. Very easily done. We were discussing that earlier on, that my brain acts like a sort of a tar bubble. It just sort of goes... blub, blub. It is a Billy Connolly bit. I think that's basically where I got that from as well. I just don't know the whole bit. Basically, I got it from Robotron, who sort of... The only way he does a Scottish accent is to quote that bit from Billy Connolly, I believe. A Scottish Ouija board. Hey, fuck off. Every single sentence on the Scottish Ouija board just equates to fuck off. Leave me to be and fucking quiet dead. Fuck's sake, fuck off, would ya? We fucking bastards disturbing my afterlife. Fuck off. That's all I've got on Scottish people. Scottish people, they go fuck off. Yes and. Fuck off. Yes and. Fuck off. Do I have to continue doing the yes and trick? No, I think you've solved the Misty. You've solved the Misty, and the Misty was, do you know anything about Scotland? And the answer to that, Misty, was no. Get the fuck. That's true. That's a bit more like it. Get the fuck. Why'd you get the fuck? I'm sick of you lollygagging around the house. Go out and get the fuck. Just carry on. Oh, I'm in a puddle. I'm in a puddle. I don't think I want to be. I'm in a puddle. Let's hope it's not pee. No, that's not useful. That's not a useful hole. I think we might be. Yeah, I think we might be shit out of luck here, because I think we may have come to the end of our tunnel. However, it doesn't seem to register as it being the end of the tunnel, so maybe. No. There's no more sand here. Maybe I've gone the wrong way. Because I feel like once I get to the end of this tunnel, my goo friend, my Mr. Goo friend, oh Mr. Goo friend, give it a goo. He's got goo for gooing and goo. Would you like a gooing for gooing a goo? Oh, there we go. There's a couple of boxes here. Yes, you are fucked. Shit out of luck. Have we? Hey, we found a little extra hole here.
So this is where the tunnel leads. Let's have a mosey around this building and see if we can find a way out.
Oh, dude, are you dead? There's no response. It's just a corpse. There's no response. It's just a corpse. Oh, just excuse me while I punch these boxes. Not that I'm disturbing you too much. You are dead after all. Can I punch the corpse? No, I can't. It's fine. Can I punch the floor beneath the corpse? I mean, I certainly can. Didn't help me in any fashion, but I certainly can do it. Wander around here, see what we can accomplish. Well, we can get a bit of wood. And the most important thing in every quest is to get at least a little bit of wood. Oh, more wood available. I don't know if I need wood, but do you know what? Sometimes it's better to have the wood and not need the wood than not have the wood when you exclusively need the wood. Hello, what's this? Veldin reads the sign. This is the incinerator. No matter the manner of a prisoner's death, whether by old age or bad luck, the cleansing fires shall give them new life as willing warriors for the High Priest Hargon. The message ends there.
An incinerator, huh? Just the thought of being thrown into that furnace makes me turn to jelly.
I mean, it definitely would if you were jelly. There is a treasure chest there, though. Hello. I would like the treasure chest, please. I don't think I can get the treasure chest at this pit. Now I'm complete, and my... Actually, never mind. Okay. I don't necessarily need to know you've completed, but... I mean, if you insist on telling everybody, that's fine. And I've completed. But, that's fine. As I say, if you insist on informing everybody, it's not a problem. I'm assuming, were you going to say something else? Oh, I see. Finishing Chester's line, then choosing not to. Ah. I see. I don't understand, because again, I referenced the fact that my brain doesn't work with references. Which is a contradiction there, really, isn't it? Referencing the fact that my brain doesn't work on references. Keep on punching all the boxes. Oh, hello. I think that's my brown beard friend. It's not a problem. Don't worry, we'll keep punching this quiet. This world will be mine and you are first in line. Ah. Again, that's definitely some kind of song, one assumes. Is it one of your skydiving type ones? The old rejiggering of Sonic? Is that what that one is? There's no response. It's just a corpse. Or is it a more known song, perhaps? You bought me the pick, and now you shall both die. The pick of what? Oh, is that the pick of destiny now? Saying the word pick? I do not know. Oh, everything's so topsy-turvy. I don't... Whoa! Where am I?
Wah! He's risen from the dead and he's talking to Ooze.
Why, if it isn't my first mate, Velden, good to see you're alive and licking.
Huh? He isn't a corpse. He was just asleep. The screws must have thought he was dead and brought him down here.
What's all this talk of corpses? Where is here, anyhow, and where's my ship?
Can't believe I only saw it for the first time this year. Oh, I mean, I have seen it, but it was years ago, hence why I didn't pick up on the lyrics immediately. Very difficult to sort of do it. Nick made you watch it. Ah, did you enjoy it? Was it at least worth Nick making you watch it? Because if he made you watch it and you were like, yeah, I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it.
What's all this talk of corpses? Where's here? Where's my ship?
Oh, I see. This Gooman must be captain of your ship. Follow us, Captain. We're going to find a way out of here.
Good on you. I'm glad I was mistaken for a corpse now. Because now I can come with you.
Do I? Oh, am I talking to you? No. No? Oh, I don't know. Am I supposed to be going up the stairs? Not entirely sure. Let's see what happens. Yeah, he can throw a curveball like that sometimes, like how he's watched all of Bottom. He just watches all of the Bottoms. He's sat in his little house, going, yeah, we like that one. We like that one as well. Just watching all the Bottoms go by.
Oh, splat, it's locked. This door leads to the outside world. My news doesn't lie. If only we could unlock it, we might be able to escape. Huh? You didn't know that slimes had noses?
I mean, they definitely don't. Look at them. That's a mouth, 2 eyes. That's it.
Have you forgotten where we are right now? Make yourself oozeful instead of asking silly questions.
I love Blue Goose. He feels like he's essential to the plot. He absolutely is. I don't remember if he survives. Just drop that casually. I don't remember if he survives.
There's someone's there. I can feel it in my bone.
Oh no, wait, hang on.
Someone's there.
Someone's there. I can feel it in my bones.
He figured out that was what you named the pigs in Hogs of War and found it funny. Ah.
Oh no. It's one of the screws. Quick, hide.
Come out, wherever you are.
The game did the sound for me.
Oh, just a little kitty. Go on, scram.
Why there's a cat down here, I do not know. Unless it was supposed to be Blue Goose, who quick thinking there.
Phew, I nearly sludged myself there.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Why don't we call it a night for now? Don't forget, you're a prisoner. If you're not back in your cell come morning, the screws will notice. We've found that door. That's a goo first step. We just need to think about how to get it open.
Sounds like Blue Goose.
But right now, we need to focus on getting back to your cell. Let's go. Yes, let's all go. The one thing we need to do is, of course, go.
I think we have to go back downstairs. I think we have to go back the way we came, because there's no way of gaining access to that area just yet. And there's also, apparently, no way of accessing that treasure chest at this exact moment in time either. Which is annoying, because it's like, oh, here's a tantalising treasure chest for you. But no, you're not allowed it. Tee-hee-hee. This is all a lot to take overboard. I never imagined we'd get locked up in Skelcatraz. In fact, I've never even caught current to the place.
That's probably because you are the single worst captain of a ship anybody has ever seen, or heard, or any other sense. You're shockingly bad at piloting a ship, or driving a ship, navigating a ship, I suppose. Speaking of which, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Wasn't Horrigon supposed to have been defeated by 3 Scions of Erdrick? There you go. But you have heard of him. That's the one. If so, how come his crew was still in charge on every island we make starboard at? Seems like a few too many just to be stragglers.
I thought you were a ship's captain, not a historian in hiding. Maybe you should stick to what you're used to.
Speak of the Angel. Where in the 11 seas is my beloved ship? That beautiful boat is my best friend, just like my rough is to Velden.
Keep the noise down, will you? We're trying to escape here. Look, Captain, we're going to find your ship sooner or later. It's the only way we can sail away from this island, so stop arguing and do what I tell you.
This friend of yours is quite the bossy knickers, ain't he? Reminds me of a certain young lady.
I can hear you, you know. Less talking and more walking.
Yes, sir, Mr. Slime, sir.
OK, 6207. Me and the captain will go on ahead. Follow the route we oozed to get here and we'll see you under your cell.
Nice. Off you pop. And I will simply follow, because there's nothing else to do here. I can now... Can I punch a bone? No, I can't. Well, I can punch the bone. It just doesn't do anything. But I do have resources in terms of blocks to place if I so chose now. And you know what I might do? I might try and build a blockade around one of the guards. I don't know. It's probably not hugely worthwhile, but I might try it. Might try some weird things with blocks now that I've got some blocks available. But that will probably be a time for next week, so I may end up just forgetting. Which is highly likely.
Not bad for a night's work. Let's go over what we've learned so far. Trying to open your cell door is too risky, but you can go through this tunnel to the crematorium, which has a door leading to the outside.
So all we need to do is get that door open, right?
Exactly. If we had a key, we'd be one step closer to glorious freedom.
So what do we do once we're out in the open? Hot-legged to my ship and keep our thumbs crossed we don't get caught?
No, Captain, no. If we want to make it out of here like my goo friend Gottfried, we'll need to...
I've only just realised, yeah. He's an escape artist called Gottfried. I don't know if anybody... I'm assuming everybody else understood that the moment they saw it, but it's taken me this long to truly appreciate the fact that his name is Gottfried and he's an escape artist. I know, thick as shit, but nonetheless... In fairness, I don't think... Malice, I don't think you were here when he was established as an escape artist. So you've got a bit of more of an excuse, I think, perhaps. But nonetheless, you know... Oh, you thought it was Gottfried. Well, I suppose arguably he might have dropped in the incinerator and got fried, but no, I think the idea is it's Gottfried.
Fuck this game!
He's just remembering back to the Goldie Rocks and the 3 bars. He's been triggered. Goldie Rocks and the 3 fucking bars. And I tell you what, you've had so many problems. I remember thinking this the other day when I was playing Ni no Kuni 2. But you've had some problems with some of the names and some of the bits and pieces in Dragon Quest Builders 2. If you want to take it to the extreme for ridiculous names in a game, you want to check out Ni no Kuni 2, because there are some absolute fucking... They are so weird that I'm not 100% convinced it's not just me making it up. I don't know if it's deliberate. That's how odd they are for a lot of them. But then a couple of them are like, no, that's definitely got to be a reference, a sort of specifically chosen name. But a lot of the names in Goldpaw especially are based on sort of, I think they're meant to be sort of Chinesey, because the sort of general architect of Goldpaw is Chinese based, I think. And so you've got one of them is fairly obvious. He's just called Nubi, and he's meant to be sort of inexperienced. He's newbie. Then one of the ones that's slightly less obvious, perhaps, is the very old soldier you get in the game, and his is Baigon. Pronounced, I assume, at least, bygone. As in, he's very old, he's bygone. And I'll try and give you one more example. And this one's probably one of the more sort of odd ones to necessarily understand immediately. I've also got another soldier who's a little bit more sort of... I mean, he's just a soldier. He's very much a soldier. Let bygones be bygones, exactly. He's a general soldier, and I think his name is spelt Gaojia, which I think is meant to be pronounced Gougia. So, as in, he will gouge ya, because he's a soldier. He will gouge ya. But there are so many more. There are so many more in that game. One of the other really obvious ones, and I'll leave it at just the 4 examples, is one of them's called Min and Ti, so just Minty. She's just called Minty. I don't even know precisely why. I can't deny one of the other ones I actually particularly like, because this one's a bit more sort of removed, perhaps in a way. But you've got one called I think his name is Chipi. So Chippy. And he's a carpenter. And if you were unaware, I'm fairly certain carpenters were once upon a time known as chippies. Precisely why, I don't know. Possibly because they chip away at the wood, I don't know. But I'm moderately certain that's correct. I may be wrong, but I'm reasonably certain that's correct. And it was... A lot of them have been like dawning moments of... I don't really... Oh, I see. I understand. But anyway, that's just... If you enjoy Dragon Quest Builders 2 level of punnage, you would absolutely adore Ni no Kuni's level. And you'd probably adore Ni no Kuni in general. It's a very good game, very enjoyable. I like it. I like it a lot. Goo, friend Gottfried, we'll need to dig our way to freedom. Opening the door is just the first step. The only way we're going to get to your boat is through the tunnels under Veldin's cell, but we can't dig any further with just our bare hands.
So we have to open that door, search for a way to open the tunnels, and Bob's our auntie.
Precisely. Nice to see you. Nice to see you nice. You know how to listen after all, Captain.
In Ireland, a woodworker is a chippy, and a chip shop is a chippers. Interesting. I did not know about chippers. But yes, as I say, I knew somewhere along the line, woodworkers were known as chippies. I wouldn't have been able to tell you it was specifically Ireland. I can't deny that. But nonetheless, I did know somewhere in the back of my brain, I did know that woodworkers tended to traditionally be called chippies. Which is why I understood the sort of punnage of his name. But what about our bear hands? Well, I fear there's only one of us here that can turn into a bear. And he's not currently directly in the game. For those wondering, and this is probably Mr. Caliber and Mr. Phoenix once more, Mr. Can't Sleep Must Paint plays a druid who frequently turns into bears. And he also summons bears now and sends them down trap-infested corridors to trigger all the traps. He's got bear sweepers. But just to clarify for anybody else. Precisely. Nice to see how you listen to After All, Captain. Can he make it rain bears? Now, interesting you should say that. Technically, yes, he can, of course, because that's part of the spell. You could do that. But we did have a conversation, a fairly lengthy conversation, I believe, as to the merits of summoning all of his creatures as cows above the enemy so that the cows would drop onto the enemy, causing damage with a rain of cows. But can he make purple bears? I don't know. Don't do that, say sorry. Now, I don't know whether that's to do with the rain of cows or the purple bears. Is purple bears something I shouldn't know? Or should know, perhaps, but possibly more so shouldn't. I don't know. But he might be able to. I believe the cantrip Prestidigitation can change people's colour, can it? I might be mistaken on that. I haven't used Prestidigitation for quite some time. You should know if you've listened to me over the last year or so. I see. Well, I clearly haven't. Or, again, I will remind you that when it comes to references and memory, my brain goes like this. Blip. It is like a tar pit of slowness. Guluk finding it 6207. I frequently say don't do that purple bear. I see. I did not know that. Clearly I've never heard you say don't do that purple bear. Or at least I've never acknowledged you saying don't do that purple bear. I'll stay down here with Blue Goosh and keep out of eyesight. Give Maldroth me regards, don't ye? Oh, now you've mentioned Nice. I do remember at least one occasion with the purple bear. Because I think I made a statement regarding the purple bear, and that if anybody was to get her a purple bear, you would be the one to get her a purple bear because your favoured colour is, purple. So I do now see. Again, this is how my brain doesn't work. It needs one key piece of information, and then the little librarian inside my brain goes, "Oh yeah, no, I've got that as a reference. Oh, I can look that up." Do we use the Dewey Decimal System? No, we use the several bombs have gone off and a tornado's gone through system. So yes, now you've said Nice. Weird that Nice is the key piece of information that triggers my brain, but nonetheless, it is. When you get back to your cell, be sure to fill in the hole and cover it with your straw bedding. We don't want the screws to catch wind of our plan. Okay, that's fair enough. I can probably do that, although I can't actually find... There we go. Let's just stop the stairs. So what we want to do is, just sand will suffice. Whoops, that's not what we wanted to do. We placed it in the wrong place. And now I've lost one of my blocks. Great, that's the hole taken care of. You really are a builder, aren't you? If anyone's capable of realising my goo friend Gottfried's dream, it's you. I mean it, 6207. No, Veldin. Let's escape from Skelkatraz and wave this island goodbye forever. Okay, the other thing I needed to do was get my bed back into place. Whoops, place my bed. There we go. And then what we'll do is chow down on one of my grilled greens. In fact, I'll chow down on a second grilled green. I might find myself in trouble for food supplies, but we'll see. But I think that's about all for Dragon Quest Builders 2 this week. Next week, we shall continue trying to escape Skelkatraz. I did mention I liked the name Skelkatraz earlier, and I stand by that statement. I like the name Skelkatraz. It's Alcatraz, but run by skeletons. Skelkatraz. It's not difficult to understand. I just like it as something stupid. Exit to title screen, yes please. For it is time for the Breakington. It's time to have a break. We will break you, Batman. How many Banes are here? I'm a Bane. Hello, I'm a Bane. Hello, I'm also a Bane. Oh, we've got 3 Banes. I didn't know that. And then you go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like Skelcatraz. Blue Goosh sounds like Histor from Fist of Fun, Histor's Eye. I don't know what that is. So again, coincidental on this occasion, because I've never heard of it. So I can't even go, yes, that's where I've got the voice from. I'm basically trying to do hysterectomy? No, I don't think so. But still, I'm basically trying to do the heel slime from Dragon Quest Warriors, I believe, or Heroes, Warriors, Heroes, one of the two. I think it's Heroes. I think Dragon Quest do Heroes. I think Zelda does Warriors. No, I think Zelda does Hyrule Heroes. So maybe it is Dragon Quest Warriors. I've got the game installed. I can look it up. Where are you? Where are you? It's Dragon Quest Heroes. They are heroes, not warriors. Although the two are not mutually exclusive. They can be both. Very easily they can be both. Anyway, we shall not be moved. Well, I will be moved when I go grab another drink. So let us get ourselves a little bit of the pretzel. The Cryptek 1-2-1-2 mix. And we'll have about 5 or so minutes of break, and I will be back for some Graveyard Keeper. So bye for now. Back in 5.